Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are doing a big economic imperialism in Japan, trying to get them into our power block. And other than that, we're just chilling and developing our economy. So, let's take a quick look at our market. We have an electrics industry. Well, that's delightful. I didn't even realize. Alright, so I think we'll be using the fact that we've developed an electrics industry to do the kind of the same thing we've been doing in a lot of steps here, and switching over to better production methods in order to decrease the size of the government. That's also going to save us a good amount of cash. Cash flow is doing pretty well. I might, in fact, increase the size of the construction industry depending on how much I actually end up saving by building up, by going to the other production method. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Tripolitanian Proletarian Revolt. I'm going to start actually backing out of these diplomatic plays. Uruguay is not my business. I've been thinking about the possibility of taking back the northern South American states, but so far I don't think that's necessarily the right call. On the other hand, temptation size is extremely large, and it doesn't look like anyone's going to step in. Well, Brazil might. But then again, I don't necessarily think this is... You know, I've done that in a lot of different games, so I don't think it's necessarily useful. Mexican Empire has a Maya uprising. We'll go ahead and send the Iberian Expeditionary Force. It's not that I think we actually need this large army here, I just don't think it's necessarily useful to... I don't want to risk anything. I don't want to risk anything, and I'm okay with eating the cost for the time being to make sure that mostly works. Alright, construction in the Baltic provinces has been mostly good. Golden Guerrero? Where is Guerrero? I should play a Mexico run sometime. Just quickly throw those at the top of the queue. Ooh, Mexico has a new flag. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, look at that. Very cool. Unregulated automobiles. Due to a spate of accidents, there have been calls to regulate automobiles. It's being reported that an automobile veering off the road and into a nearby river, faster than a horse and twice as heavy. If people don't see why that's dangerous, I don't know what to tell you. Stricter laws make for safer streets, reduce motor industry's throughput, industrialists mad. People merely need to adjust, industrialists happy, or automobiles should have the right of way, 5% of lower sternum pops become more radical. I'm gonna say... So this seems like all penalties, whereas this seems like all bonuses. I'm gonna go with stricter laws make safer streets. And I'm gonna do that because it feels like there would be consequences to doing the other thing. I've never had them, but maybe I'll get some kind of bonus further down the line if I continue to do it the way I'm doing it. Safely ignore this. Now, what else do I want to build up in Japan? Let me take a quick look at infrastructure. Johor wants an embassy. Yeah, absolutely. I would be delighted to have an embassy. Alright. I'm just seeing if I need to build railways anywhere. It's looking mostly good. It's really more government sectors they need in order to function, but... Well, we could use a railway in Hokkaido. The grand plan pays off. Oscar Villela, the methodical leader of the Catholic Church, has been studiously working behind the scenes for some time now, and at last all his work has paid off for the Catholic Church and Iberia. The man is so pleased with his acts that he looks like he's about to burst into flames of contained emotion. How charming. Professionally speaking, though, not the most clever. Yes, just as planned. The Catholic Church will reap the rewards, extra momentum. I don't necessarily want that. Iberia shall reap the rewards, reduce loan interest rate, increase gold reserve limit. I'm going to do the second one. We're very close to no debt right now, but a higher reserve limit is nice. We got a new election going down. Patriotic Union is once again the leading party, with the Catholic Party straight in the middle. Progressive Party and Free Trade Party are both at the bottom. It seems like more and more people are leaving the Progressive Party, which, you know, kind of makes sense. Alright, so, should have checked this force comparison before the war started. Hey, there's central planning. Wonderful. Alright, so first things first. Let's go ahead and increase. Do I want to swap all of these? I think at least a little. We'll swap the ones in the capital. Yeah, that's giving us a lot of... Oh my goodness. I changed the production methods of the government, and now the Japanese people who are living there are mad in Kanto. Misplaced moderation. Diogo Freire de Andrade has criticized numerous decisions made by the leadership of his own Patriotic Union, calling Ramon Vivas excessively cautious and unwilling to address critical issues. I often wonder, looking at the activities that we carry out, specifically those which are most crucial to expanding our pool of supporters, whether Vivas is authentically aware of or dedicated to their success. Our fundraising is generally acceptable, and the coffers of the party are without complaint, nor are the accountants. Really, this should say, our fundraising is generally acceptable. The coffers of the party are without complaint, as are the accountants. But such resources have yet to be mobilized in a way that benefits the common good. And so my thesis is this: what does Vivas intend, and how best to change his mind on the matter? It would be best to simply do as he wishes. Vivas gets reduced popularity, 20% momentum, or make a point of improving the vigor we put forward, half the benefits. I'm going to give them extra momentum. I'm going to go with the first one. So let's go ahead and continue to flip over to switchboards. In fact, I'm just going to do all of them. So that's going to create a huge shortage of telephones. We can get the telephones we need by building up our electrics industries, which we have a few of. Probably should have staggered it, but that's okay. Now, before I do this, let me take a look and see if the private sector is building some electrics industries. It's building a few, but it's not focusing on it. So we'll grab both of our locations where we have electrics industries, and we'll build them ourselves. And I am just going to... Oh, I don't need to throw them at the top of the queue. All the other stuff is basically there already. Don't want to invest in you, Prussia. No offense, I just don't. Alright, so once we get all of this other stuff done, which will be pretty soon, we'll be good to go. I'm going to throw this railway in Hokkaido at the bottom of the queue. There's the end of the Maya secession, so that's very good. All of these other fast-building industries will be done pretty quickly, and that'll be just fine. Still doing very solidly on loyalists. Standard of living ticked down a little, but it was at 16 for a minute. A lot of opium pop consumption. Do I have the ability to expand plantations? I don't think I do. No, because I own a bunch in other areas. Curious. Japanese leadership. A Japanese politician with secessionist sympathies has risen to prominence in the trade unions, who are currently marginalized. Have you heard about who spoke at their last rally? To think the opposition gives credence to Japanese propaganda now. The sitting government would never host a speaker like that, which incidentally was the exact argument made in the speech itself. A Japanese political leader? Unthinkable. 2% of Japanese pops in Iberia become more radical. Japanese agitator will appear in Iberia, change civil war progress by minus 10%. Or anyone can make it in Iberia. He joins the trade unions. I don't want more radical pops. I'm going to get an agitator either way. And taking civil war progress down doesn't feel important to me, so I'll just go with the second one. Campaign financing. Parties, particularly the Free Trade Party, are struggling to raise enough funds for all their campaigning needs this election. Let's see what you men are charging. Fees, yes, that's to be expected, but what's this? Lodging charge? That fancy hotel room could house half a village. And there's enough wine billed here to drown a fish. Votes don't come cheap, sir. You do want to win, right? Some money can be spared for the free trade party. Government expenses, extra momentum for them. Every party can be provided with basic election funding this cycle, extra opposition interest group approval. Or if a party can't afford a campaign, should it be campaigning, reduce momentum. I'm going to reduce their momentum. I don't think I need a free trade party kicking around here. That's just the industrialists doing industrialist stuff. Alright. So, we'll slow the game down just a bit, and I want to build up some more businesses in Japan. I can't build the same businesses everywhere. That's what I have to be conscientious of. I usually build up a lot of industry in Tohoku. I'm not sure why Japan isn't doing the same. I guess they've chosen to focus business expansions in other areas, which, you know, makes a degree of sense, but... Anyway. Just getting these in the order I want them in. Alright. Ooh, new mandate available. Excellent. So, one of these days I'll click the power block button correctly. So if we go to level 2 of food standardization, that's reduced mortality in addition to extra agriculture throughput. That is really, really good. And there's the election. We're going to keep the government the same. And we're even more righteous now with a higher proportion of the votes, which is nice. We'll see if this coalition sticks together. It seems likely that it will. Still short on telephones, but we're building up the extra electrics industries. So, once we finish with defense in depth, what do we do next? We're in military. Wargaming is good for the extra offense bonus. Landing craft is going to show up by itself. Sea Lane Strategies gets us the scout cruiser, which is the final light ship. So that's tempting. Wargaming's tempting. Let's head over to production. We need the radio. No, we need electric railways. That's what we need. Because electrical capacitors gives us a bunch of other stuff. Oh, but I could really use the steam turbine as well. I think electric railways is more... No, I want the steam turbine first. Because I want to have steam power ready to go when I get electric railways. Okay, alright, I've got it figured out. And then finally we get radio. And radio... but I should really get radio first so that I can swap over to siege artillery. Actually, change the plans. Radio first, then electrical capacitors, steam turbine, electric railways, and then we circle back to military to grab wargaming, Sea Lane Strategies, and probably Dreadnought. Because we're getting a lot of our power projection from Navy. Is there anything we want up here in society? I could... Oh, I already have multilateral alliances spreading. Oh, that's excellent. Oh, that's the perfect thing to be spreading. Wonderful. Oh, I'm so pleased. Alright, so I've got a huge... Oop. The mob approaches. Belligerent crowds are getting increasingly provocative when confronted by troops in Iberian Kanto. Hardliners in the government are demanding tougher responses, while doves are calling for troops to stand down as the first hopeful step in de-escalation. A whiff of grape shot saved the day once, and it can be done again. I'm telling you, we need to show strength right now. Strength? Bullets are an admission of weakness. We need to talk. Show them we're not afraid. That's how we'll get them. We can disperse the crowds by force, which is a 50-50 chance of radicalizing pops or reducing Civil War progress. Or we can order the troops to stand down, 50-50 chance of loyalizing pops or increasing Civil War progress. I'm always going to go with that second one. It didn't work. With that event, it's always better to have more, to have a chance of getting some loyalists than it is to do to risk getting some radicals. All right, we've unlocked assembly lines. That's very good. Or conveyor belts. I don't think I'm going to change up production methods right now, but I am going to shrink the government. So, let me see. I think we can drop... Excuse me? I can't because I've got a revolutionary movement. That's why I can't reduce the size of the government right now. Okay, that's interesting. I'd forgotten about that. That's a change that's new in 1.8, is you can't shrink government, or I think military, while you... Yeah, because you got a revolutionary movement. You can't just disband all their armies. Hey, excellent. Landing craft is something that's very useful for a maritime power, which we are. Alright, electrics industries are almost done, and then another round of investment in Japan. Speaking of which, leverage is good, but not getting any better. Just building up a lot of resource industries in Japan. Japanese politician speaks out. Rokuro Oyama, leader of the trade unions, one of our nation's most prominent Japanese figures, has spoken out in favor of an independent Japanese nation. My political goals have been shaped by my upbringing, but I never let my Japanese background define them. However, it looks increasingly like it is the only criteria by which Iberia intends to define me. Tell the trade unions to keep this traitor in check. Trade unions very upset. Weaker Japanese national movement, but more active. Their current activism is 77%. Ignore these pointless ramblings. He loses popularity. Trade unions get upset. Or perhaps it's time this movement is heard. Increased attraction, reduced activism. This is interesting. I think I'm going to go with reducing the activism. Because if their activism goes down, they'll stop trying to revolt, and that'll be better for me. Anything I can do to have 5 years with the Japanese national movement not trying to revolt is a good plan. International telephone exchange. It has been suggested that by establishing a cross-border telephone exchange with Great Britain, we could improve relations more easily. It certainly cuts down on misunderstandings, so we can just pick up the telephone and work out what's going on across the border. Sounds like a great idea. Improves relations with Great Britain. That's fun. Do it. Do it. A Mexican attitude worsened. Mexico, why are you mad? Oh, no, they're not mad. They're just aloof. Well, that's fine. They can be aloof. Some of my best friends are aloof. Alright, electrics industries are basically finished. Telephones should be getting... The telephone shortage should be going down pretty soon. Alright, so now we are reduced in... we don't have a radical movement anymore, so now we can start reducing the size of the government. I'm going to cut this government sector in Iberian Kanto. We got Kirby's there for a second. That's fun. Don't tell anyone I called those Kirby's. IP neutral little pink fellas. Actually, I can afford to reduce... Well... I'm pretty good with institutions. I could reduce the size of the government even further, actually. What if I brought the ones in the capital down to... Ooh, I should do public motor carriages. Yeah, there we go. What if I brought the ones in the capital down to 4? Same as everywhere else. That would be nice. Anywhere I'm short on taxation capacity, doesn't seem like it. Consumption taxes are really low taxation capacity cost anyway. Alright, so we got another Dominican uprising. That seems to be happening more and more these days. We'll send the troops and the armada. I should really expand the fleet. I don't know why this number keeps getting worse. But I am developing a gold reserve, and that gold reserve is going up. So I don't know. I'm not really sure why this number is negative, and yet I find myself in a situation. However, I am noticing the investment pool is significantly increasing in size, and to me, that means I can go ahead and expand construction sectors. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me see. Beira's maxed out. Aragon, Badajoz, Castile. Wow, Castile is maxed out. I think I'm just going to build the ones in Iberia up to a nice even 4 on all counts. That'll be about a 20% increase to the overall size of the construction sector. And that will be pretty good. Hopefully that'll be enough that will be that the investment pool will be evened out once again, and obviously that'll let me build a little faster, which will be nice. At the cost of huge piles of cash, but you know, what are you gonna do? You can't build you can't make a large overseas empire without spending a bunch of money. Unless you're the British. Actually, the British rather famously, one of the outstanding characteristics, outstanding as in remarkable, it's not that it was great, one of the outstanding characteristics of the British Empire was that the British Empire was really fantastic at keeping military expenditures low. The Great Train Smash. An enterprising entertainer has arranged for two aging locomotives to be run into each other at a local fair. The resulting collision may pose danger to the crowd, although that hasn't stopped Cristóbal da Silva Pereira, leader of the landowners, from declaring that he will have a front row seat at the event. We're crying out loud, why? Why do you want to see a crash so much? Honestly, I believe that somewhere in the makeup of every normal person, myself included, there lurks a suppressed desire to smash things up. Everyone enjoy the spectacle. 90% chance it's great. 10% chance he dies. Or forbid him from risking his life. Landowner is mad. I do like pissing off the landowners, but I like the chance of their leader dying even more. Kablam! Enjoy the spectacle, everybody. It also gives us more loyalists from political movements, which is nice. But I'm not doing it primarily for that. My loyalism is through the roof. Loyalism size large. So now that I've got landing craft, reinvading Puerto Rico for the 10th time is going to be a lot easier. We do have some electricity shortages. Islas Baleares is, I think, they just need subsidies over there because they're not hiring. Oh my goodness. Iberian Guyana, it's the same. Subsidize. Alright, Extremadura, we shouldn't need to subsidize. Well, they are hiring right now, so that should sort itself out. Beira, are they maxed? They are maxed. Alright, so how much more power does Beira need? They need about one more level. Ooh, there's defense in depth. Excellent. So that unlocks siege artillery, and we'll be able to use that once we've got radio. Toledo, we'll do the same thing. It looks like they need one more level's worth. And then Extremadura, they're hiring. Alright, so we'll go ahead and grab those power plants and throw them at the top of the queue. Now I'm also going to need to expand coal resources before too long, as I'm going to be getting steam turbine, and steam turbine's going to use a lot of coal. But I think that'll be fine. And I think it'll be good overall. Ooh, Dominican Uprising in default. Excellent. I think that'll be good overall. I have a really hard time keeping power stations efficient and profitable. So I think it just makes sense. Where's our leverage with Japan? Still at 64. How much am I getting from economic dependence? Important. Can I see this breakdown? I don't think so. Alright, so that's the end of the war. That'll be nice. Britain's continuing to colonize Africa. Oh my goodness, Cape Colony has become large. And many have even said that they're in charge. Hey, we got a Dominican uprising in Venezuela as well. Hey, hey. Looks like New Granada might align with Venezuela, but if I align with the Dominican uprising, could I get a subject? No. Only a trade agreement. Nope, not worth it. Not worth it one bit. What about Costa Rica? Nope. Alright, New Granada sides of Venezuela. I don't think that's going to be a shocker. But this does change the dynamic, which would be a subject now? No. Alright. They don't want to be subjects of Iberia. I'm shocked. No one could have foreseen this. No one could have looked at history and gone, I wonder why these South American nations wouldn't want to be subject to the laws of Iberia. No one could have foreseen this, is what I'm saying. Go ahead and ignore that. We're continuing to build up a bunch of industries in Japan, and hopefully that'll get us more leverage. I think after this round, I'm going to look at what the projected leverage gain is, and that'll give me a better sense of where we're going to go here. Britain, why are you just slicing bits off of Persia? That's rude. Stop it. Britain. Ya goon. Ya goons. Bali should be getting down in Liberty Desire at this point. Bali should be getting down in Liberty Desire at this point. Oh, there's a bunch of people supporting their independence. That's partially why they're going up. What's their economic dependence look like? Let's see. Important? I can definitely increase that number. Those are rookie numbers. They've got the infrastructure available. They've got railways running. So I can increase the size of those. Can't increase plantations because there's no more arable land. But I can increase their steel mills. Their paper mills. And their textile mills. And that'll be nice. Then they'll be more economically dependent on us, and that'll be good. So, the Sunda Isles are all part of their own split state. Does Portugal still have a defensive pact with Britain? It doesn't. So if I grab the Portuguese Sunda Isles, then I can just grab the Javanese Sunda Isles in another war, and that'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy. So let's go ahead and kick that off. So okay, so if I demand these islands, only Bali and Dahomey will step in. They might accept. I think it's worth it. Let's do it. They've said no. Well, we'll just mobilize the expeditionary forces. Alright. That was the escape key. You can use the escape key to get yourself out of a naval invasion planning screen you don't necessarily want to be in. Pro tip. Pro tip is someone who's gotten stuck in naval invasion planning in situations where I didn't want to be. Alright, so now we're doing the big industrial expansion in Japan. And then we'll be working on Bali, unless they side against us with Portugal. And if they do that, then, you know, that'll be just fine, and I'll be delighted. France has a chance to side with us, actually. Persia backs down. But if Bali sides with the enemy, they want to transfer Bali. Well, that's just silly. I'm just doing this to expand Bali. Make themselves a little Sunda Isles Republic. Are they a republic? No, they're a Raja. The Raja. Alright, they have a Raja. So that's monarchy. That's big monarchism. Yep. Cool. I don't wish to invest in the Nejid. I should think about investing in some of these places in the Middle East, though, because if they've got oil, it could be useful to have them in my customs union. Alright, come on, music player. Let's get going here. I'll probably go until the war starts, because this war is going to be fast. It looks like Bali is not, in fact, going to actually step in. So, in fact, they're on my side, which is wonderful. This is a source. This sparks joy. This is a source of joy. those industries working. Obviously, it's costing us some cash, this war, but expenses overall have been modest, and I can always lean on the investment pool when the time comes. If I really want to make sure my cash flows are good, which they could be. Overall, like, maintaining this kind of an economy with a consumption-based taxation regime has been difficult, but I think overall we've done a pretty successful job of it. It hasn't been as hard as it often feels like it is. Alright, we'll just go ahead and do a little naval invasion. We'll go till the war ends. This should not be long. This should not be long at all. Because we're going to pass this territory to Bali. Has South Sumatra fixed its problems yet? Nope, still no. Hold on. Infrastructure from pop consumption of automobiles? I had no idea that was a mechanic. That's bananas. Alright, so I've conquered the Portuguese Sunda Isles. Where else is there Portugal? This is Bhutan, this is Netherlands. This is France. Ah, these areas. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and grab these areas in Africa. No reason to halt any stuff. That's an American force against the Danish reactionary revolt. Again, I suspect they'll give up this territory fairly quickly, but I need to take more of Portugal proper before it happens because they're reluctant on account of they're still holding a lot of their territory. Which makes sense when you think about it, but still. They had a 40% chance of giving up this territory just to the diplomatic play alone. Would have been pretty cool if they had done, but you know. No complaints, I guess. I should switch my armies over to being motorized. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. With all my armies except for the... Nope, never mind. I did it with the Iberian Expeditionary Force anyway by accident. It's fine. I'm going to win this war. Alright, well, that's going to make this naval invasion a little bit harder, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. They'll probably wait until organization builds back up, but I don't think they need to. I don't think the enemy has much of an army here, to be honest. Yeah, they got 2 units of skirmish infantry. Just land. It'll be fine. I know you don't have any organization. Just do it. It'll be great. It'll be fun. Our allies are already taking this territory in the southwestern Africa. The southwestern Africa. That was really smart. Block of words I did there. Oh, so smart. Oh my goodness. India has become independent. I'm not involved. Oh, that's a tragedy. Interesting. But Great Britain doesn't have any capacity to get them back. Okay, that's very good. We're going to declare an interest over here. Interests, plural. Because we want to... They've become Orissa. Oh, interesting. That's really interesting. Oh, excellent. I love it when the British Empire collapses. It's so good. I don't know how this happened, but I'm freaking pleased about it. Maybe I'll be able to get them into my customs union. Wouldn't that be nice? I finished... No, I'm not finished building these yet. So I'm not... I know I had the screen open, but I didn't actually check what my leverage was. Okay, guys. You're at 67%. You gotta land at some point. They want to recover all their organization, but I want them to go now. Wow, Japanese national movement way dropped in activism. That's impressive. Maybe I won't wait until the end of this war. There's a civil war in Bremen, and I just straight up ignored it. We'll send the Royal Guard. And we'll send the Territorial Army as well. That was smart. Oh, I'm such a good overlord. I'm so good at paying attention to what's going on in the political worlds of my subject states. I'm such a competent overlord. It's never been more competent than this. Multilateral alliances. Heck yes. That's good. Go, that's good. Hanover wants to host an embassy. Sure. So, Japan. Let's go to an alliance. And can I get extra leverage for guaranteeing their independence? I think I can. And Oman wants to grant some investment rights. No, thank you. Do I get leverage for funding lobbies? I do a little bit. Have I successfully invaded Portuguese Africa? Yes, I have. Alright, so I think from here, I'm basically... I think I'm kind of maxed out. Obviously, I'm still building stuff, but I'm also building stuff in Bali now. And that should hopefully improve things. Once this war ends, I'll just pass this territory to Bali, and then we'll grab the rest of the Sunda Isles from Java. Actually, I'll grab the rest of the Sunda Isles from Java first. You don't have a good defensive pact, do you? Oh, gosh darn it. I don't want to fight the French. Although, I might be able to take the French in a fight. They got a military equivalent to my own. So we'll see. Hey, Portugal, are you ready to surrender yet? I got high occupation. Where is the rest of Portugal? They got a bunch of territory sitting around somewhere that I'm not aware of. Where are they? Alright, well, anyway. One day I'll figure out where the rest of Portugal is. Are they here? Yes. Nope, that's the Netherlands. They're here. They've got... I'm going to do this before I end the episode. But we'll deal with the rest of this war for the end of the episode because I'm way over time. So we'll deal with the rest of this war next episode because I'm way out of time on this episode. For now, my nerds, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you on the other side.